Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm going to give you a brief overview of how to research a topic using the TCC databases. Now, inevitably, whenever we're going through an assignment that requires you to do research, I'll have students asking, do we have to use the databases? My answer, inevitably, if it's coded in the assignment, is yes, you do have to. And the reason why is that the TCC databases and scholarly databases in general are going to give you a whole menu of reliable information. Now, what that means is pretty subjective, right? So there's always going to be particular types of bias in any form of journalism or any other type of information. But these sources of information are actually credible news sources, meaning that they have certain criteria and journalistic standards that they have to live up to, or will face certain type of legal consequences. These aren't blogs that are being posted by some random people on the internet, or conspiracy theories, or just different ideas that people have. These are coming from sources that have hired people to write, that have editors to read over what they have written, and publishers to determine whether or not they can credibly publish something. So keep all of that in mind, and TCC pays a lot of money for you to have access to these types of things. So this is paid information, and usually paid information is much, much better than free information. Okay? So if you go to library.tccd.edu, you'll see something that looks like this. Now, depending on what's going on at the library at the time, you may have to scroll down a bit, and that's fine, no big deal. And I'll show you these two different things that you have here. On one side, you have the TCC catalog, and on the other side, you have the TCC article databases. The TCC catalog, if you search something here, is going to give you literally all the information that TCC has on a particular topic. So if we're going to research a particular topic like immigration, if I just type in immigration in the search field and hit enter, you're going to see all of the articles, books, journals, videos, everything that TCC has in its library databases, and as well as its books that it has in its libraries as well. And you can see here that there's 982,000 results. So just read those real quickly and then write your essay. Just kidding. But you can see that there are all sorts of different books that you can check out at the library. And if they're available at a library that isn't the TCC campus that you attend, you can still request that that book be sent to your library. So it's really cool how all of that works. So you can sign in right there and request it be sent to your library, which is pretty nifty. This one's also available online, so you can read a digital version of it. But you can see there's just so much information that you have at your disposal through the catalog. In fact, there's so much information that I would highly advise not starting with the library catalog because it is so overwhelming. The TCC article databases is a much better place to start. So what I like doing with article databases is I like browsing by subject or a list of databases. So instead of getting the whole catalog that's going to give you all the information that TCC has, the article databases are going to condense information that they have into groups that are a little bit easier to digest. So if I click the drop-down menu, you'll notice that everything's organized in these categories that are bolded, right? So you've got almanacs, directories, handbooks, arts. Now, depending on what assignment you are doing for me at the moment, will determine which category you're looking for. So usually with my students, you're doing some sort of research essay that's requiring you to look up something that might be controversial, something that's related to current events. You might be in one of my literature courses in which you could browse these literature categories. I would highly suggest Bloom's Literature. If you're in a literature course for me, that's a really, really great database. If you're in one of my composition courses, Comp 1, 1301, or Comp 2, 1302, and you're doing a research project, I would highly advise that you scroll down to this category, News and Controversial Issues. Now, all these databases are good. I like them. They all work really well. Here are a few that I really, really like. I really love Gale in Context, Opposing Views. That one works really, really well. I like ProQuest a lot. But I would encourage you to start with Gale in Context, Opposing Views. So I'm going to click there. Now, once it brings it up, you're going to see this is the database, and you're going to be able to search just like you would in the catalog. But let's just, for argument's sake, let's say that I'm writing my paper over immigration. Now, if you're doing a research project, I've probably asked you to devise a guiding question. So what you would need to do once you have identified your topic, which is immigration, you would need to make a question about that topic, something that you want to learn. So I may ask a question like this: does immigration help the United States economically? Okay, something like that. So that would be my guiding question. Now, my goal as a researcher now is to read enough articles that I can come to a conclusion about this question. Does immigration help the United States economically? So what I will do is I'll go back to my databases and I'll search for something. I can start off maybe being really specific and see if that renders any results. So immigration and the economy, something like that. Let's see if I get any types of results here. So you're going to get this menu here that will give you primary sources. So these are sources that are like documents that you can look at specifically. It's not people writing about documents. Videos, magazines, academic journals, which can be a little bit stuffier and difficult to read, but often are really good resources. So immigration as a business strategy, simplifying American immigration law and a global economy. Okay. The Brexit Door, Hoover Fellows, examine where Britain's perilous path might lead. That's not really relevant because I'm focusing on the United States. The New American Reality, who we are, how we got here, and where we are going. And so what I like doing, oh, look at this. Illegal immigration hurts the economy. I would definitely, that seems to, oh, and look at this one right beneath it. Immigration benefits the economy. So, and what I want to do is I don't want to have the mindset of reading into what my bias might already be. I might already have a way that I'm leaning, but I don't want to solely read articles that just confirm what I think. That's called confirmation bias, and really you're not going to learn much if you do that. So a really good way to start is I might read both of these articles with contradicting ideas. So if I click on this one first, illegal immigration hurts the economy. So what I would do is I would read through this whole article or kind of look at these broader categories, and I would see if there's anything that sticks out to me that I think, oh, that could really work. All right. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I found a quote that I really like, and most likely you're going to have a research project that's going to require that you use embedded quotes within your essay. So let's say I really like this quote. I have not read this at all. Okay. I think this is a really good quote. So what I want to do is I want to copy it. And I'm just going to show you what I would do. This is not necessarily what you have to do, but I'm just going to paste it down here. In fact, I'll put it in quotation marks. Okay, so there's my quote. Now, I also want to make sure that I keep track of where these quotes are coming from, right? And a really cool thing that these databases do is they give you the opportunity to automatically cite your sources. So usually there's going to be something that says cite, citation tools, something like that. So I'm going to click cite, and you'll notice here that it already has the works cited citation that I would use at the very end of my paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it's on the correct format, which is MLA, which is good. You always want to do the most recent edition, and it's already done for you, so you don't have to do it. So I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go back to my document where I'm doing my research, and I'm just going to paste it right below, right? So it's not in the right format, but dadgummit, you know where it is, okay? And what I would do is I would make kind of a menu of quotes that you really like that you might possibly embed into your essay. So I'll go back to that other website or that other article that worked well too. Immigration benefits the economy, right? And maybe you really liked this quote, something like that. Once again, I'm not reading it, I'm just showing you how I'm going about it. And I'm just collecting quotes that I might wind up using in my essay after I've read the whole article, right? And I also want to make sure that I remember where it comes from, that I'm able to build my in-text citations as well as my works cited citations. So I want to make sure that I get this ready to rock and roll by pasting back into my document. And so you can see that I've got all sorts of things that I'm building onto here that work really well. And sometimes I like to just collect these just so I can see them so they don't all bleed in together. So I use these little borders. It kind of helps me out a little bit. And that's the way I kind of start my research process. And I'll keep reading more and more and more articles until I feel like I can answer this question specifically with details for a thesis statement that I can unpack into body paragraphs in my essay. So that's how I would go about it. So oftentimes I'll have students that run into problems and they'll say something like, I can't find any information on my topic. So my advice to you in that situation is, instead of searching something really specific like immigration and the economy, make it a little bit broader, make it immigration. And then it might be a little bit difficult to sift through all the information, but it should be, you should find more things that relate to your topic. Or you might have something that's a little bit too niche, in the sense it might be difficult to find information to write an essay over, Post-it notes or something like that. That might be kind of hard to do. You might not be able to find lots of information. It might be really difficult to ask a guiding question, or even to create a thesis that's actually an argument, which is what you're most likely doing in my class, writing an essay that is an argument. So if you cannot turn your topic into a position that is a reasonable argument, you might need to find a different topic. And that's not a huge deal, because chances are you're still at the very beginning of the process, and that's fine. So that's a very general overview of how to use the TCC databases. I've probably given you lots of other links in terms of how to work the TCC databases, as well as using the library and its other online resources to help you out, anything that's going on for class. And you can always contact me through office hours, okay? All right, so good luck with all of your researching. I wish you the best, and don't panic. Take a deep breath. Use this as an opportunity to really delve into something that maybe you don't know a whole lot about, and be excited about the possibility of learning a ton. All right? Okay, I'll see y'all later.